In this section the following subjects will be covered. Location of the limit switches and sensors. How the ECU monitors the switches and sensors used on the Gen 5 scissors. Switch and sensor connections are made above the ECU on the schematic. Viewing the inputs from left to right, the platform up and down toggle switch is located at the base controls. Battery voltage is supplied to the center terminal when the key switch is turned to the chassis control position. When platform down is operated, an input is provided to pin B12 on the ECU. An output equivalent to battery voltage is provided from pin B6 to the down coil. When the platform up function is selected, an input is supplied to pin A12. The ECU monitors inputs from the down limit switch and the tilt level sensor to determine that the machine is safe to lift. Outputs are provided for DC motor controller and up coil accordingly. If the machine is descending out of level, has a pothole arm blocked, or is operating with the motion alarm option selected, the ECU provides a path to battery negative for the alarm on pin B9. The ECU creates different frequencies with the use of a single alarm, depending on the alarm condition. The pothole arm limit switches are wired in series. The orientation of the switches are labeled with switch wiring, and switch state with the machine in the stowed position. The pothole switches are labeled N, C, H, O. This callout states that the wires are connected to the normally closed contacts, labeled NC on the contact block inside the switch, and that it is held open in the stowed position. With both switches forced open, there is no input on pin B10 with the linkage stowed and pothole arms retracted. When the linkage is lifted and both of the pothole arms are deployed, an input is provided on pin B10. With an input on pin B10, the machine is limited to the elevated drive speed range. The down limit switch is wired normally open, and is held closed in the stowed position. In this orientation, an input is provided on pin C12. As the linkage is raised, the input on C12 is shut off. At this point, the ECU is looking to see an input from the pothole switches on B10. If the pothole arms have not deployed, platform up is still allowed, with an audible alarm and fault code 18, but drive is disabled. The ECU also wants to see an input on pin C11 signifying that the machine is level. If there is no input on C12, and no input on C11, lift and drive are both disabled with an audible alarm, and fault code, LL. Platform controls are operated by a single joystick for lift and for drive. The joystick also houses the steer switches, and function enable switch. The platform controller is a separate computer that conveys user inputs to the ECU via two data wires. This eliminates the need for separate wires running down the linkage for each individual function. This also eliminates the voltage drop issues that are associated with long stretches of wiring. The platform controller does not look at any switch or sensor inputs. It simply conveys the user inputs to the ECU. The ECU determines whether the functions commanded are safe to operate, and provides outputs accordingly.